Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, and today I am joined by the founders of Big Tiny Brand.
Myself, I'm coming from the security industry with 25 years under my belt of experience being white hat hacker certified and basically worked my way all the way up the corporate ladder, now leading the EMEA wide security responsibilities for Fortune 300 data center service provider. That's my 9 to 5 job. And being a degen at heart in crypto since 2015, that's when I first bought my first Bitcoins. And seeing what is happening, especially in the regulatory environment that we're heading into and the shackles that come with it. And at the one side, seeing a lot of, especially in the bear market, seeing a lot of really great projects arising left and right with really beautiful ideas for the better of the whole space. And that's good on the one side. But one thing that we identified at Big Tiny Brand is they will all hit potentially a wall at 150 kilometers per hour, never have been dealing with regulatory scrutiny. And that's where we came to the table. On the one side, also to be quite honest, with a self-interest to protect our investments, but as seeing ourselves as a guardian angel in the Web3 space, supporting and building connections with other founders and Web3 startups to give them a guiding and helping hand in this world of scrutiny that undoubtedly will be active 2025 and beyond. And that's how we're positioning ourselves.
Nice. Scott, what's your background like as well? I'd love to know that.
Well, my background is a lot less in web security. My background is much more in business. I own and operate my own business in Las Vegas, and I have a background in startups and a background in management. So my strengths come from numbers, and then obviously I have a passion for crypto. I got into crypto about 4 years ago, and like most people, I did very well the last run, extremely well, to be honest. But it all went to zero because, like many people, I never took a profit out of crypto. So I watched bags inflate to numbers that were life changing, and I watched it all disappear. And I never left. A lot of people left during the bear, but I had a coming to Jesus moment and had to decide, is this for me? Can I handle this? Or do I need to just step back and call it what it is? It was a fun ride, but here I am. And while on this journey in crypto, I met Fabian, and we both have a lot of similar interests. I'm very community oriented. I love utility. I love to degen. I have hundreds of NFTs from before the mess, the DPEG and the FTX crash, and I got in heavily back into it. And instead of only being a degen, we created this project based on obviously the regulatory scrutiny, and we offer a ton of security-based services. So it's paid for services. We don't really rely on NFT mints. We don't rely on any kind of royalty income or any kind of gamification. We don't rely on these things, although we love that kind of stuff. We don't rely on it for our income. We rely on projects needing support, needing help, be it from turnkey website, fully secured and fully integrated with wallet connection, launchpad, dApps, these kind of things, developing, auditing, whether it's auditing your business, auditing your procedures, or auditing a smart contract. We basically can help all these projects that exist or are starting up with all these things, and it's paid for services. And that's the business model that we're working with. So basically, my background led me towards this, and now I'm actually learning a lot about web security and safe practices, which is something I preach and have been preaching since before I met Fabian. Be safe out there. It's a Wild West still. That's pretty much me. I'm a
Couldn't
father
agree
also. I
more.
got
And I think
two
that
kids.
based off what you guys have mentioned, I see Fabian, who has the more security tech savvy sort of background, and that helps pair and mesh well with your background as well, Scott, with having that startup, that business background, infrastructure, and just both of those sort of ecosystems. And I guess one would put it, I guess, business types, they just pair really well together. Both of those sort of infrastructures, you need both when it comes to Web3 specifically, but you also need both when it comes to business in general. So I see just based off of your backgrounds, it seems as if there's a bright future ahead already for Big Tiny Brands and what you guys want to offer as services.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's we, Scott and myself, as the founders, we're the front-facing individuals of Big Tiny Brands. We're fully doxed as well as our main team members. But yeah, what a lot of people don't realize how big our back end team is. We have in total we have close to 24 full-time people on the back end. We have a red team who are doing nothing else but
Wow.
smart contract auditing, penetration tests. Then we have developers, both Rust developers. We have developers for Solidity on Hedera, the Rust for Solana. And of course, they're not full time employed. They're working on contractual basis. Hence, they don't need to be fully doxed. But that's the beauty of being a registered company, and that's where we're aiming to. And yeah, one of the things I need to learn is I'm from my I'm not the type of person that likes to overpromise and underdeliver. I'm quite the opposite. But in this space, in order to make yourself visible, we need to work on the marketing, and that was why I really appreciate having us on this stage. So people do need to get a chance to know who we are, and that's a really big thing because there's nothing more boring than information security. We need to face it. That's
Yep.
just the nature of the business. And if we are doing our jobs good, then we will be noticed even less. And I'm saying this on purpose because coming from the industry, the only time when the whole information security team or compliance team is being noticed is when the shit hits the fan. Excuse my French, but only then you get the public attention. And if you're doing a job good, then you're flying under the radar. That's the controversy that we're seeing ourselves in, being in this DJing space and delivering like the fundamentals so other projects can strive even further.
Yeah, and if I can add to
Nice.
that a little
Those are
bit,
great words.
yep. If I could add a little bit,
Sure.
our dev team is very strong, but we are always looking for full stack developers that are reliable, that can do good work in Rust and Solidity and others, of course. So that's as a growing project. I want to throw that out there. And I don't think Fabian mentioned our team of artists. We have a graphic and art team that is very strong
Nice.
and excels at all types of different graphic work and art. So we have people that can do the website graphics, make videos with all kinds of special effects, but we also have people on our team that can do one of one artwork, whether it's utilizing drawing, painting, AI, pixel. We have an amazing team of artists, and we do contract outside of our team depending on the need and depending on the workload. If our team is overworked, we do bring people from outside. So again, if people are looking, they can always come and jump in, open a ticket, and show us what they got. And we're always happy to talk to people. It's always great to meet new people. So yeah, and with us being in security, of course, we chose HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, as our home. Hedera Hashgraph is the most secure of all in crypto. Nothing is more secure. So we thought it where better to start our journey than HBAR. And we absolutely love it. We support it. We believe in it. So all H barbarians, we are with you.
Nice. Yeah, it seems as if you guys have a full stack artillery behind you regarding developers and artists, and it's nice to have. And I feel as if myself personally in this space, at least once a week, I'm always coming across a new developer looking for work, looking to network, looking to build relationships and build something new. And it's reassuring for my own work that I'm always going to be able to find somebody who's willing to help you build something of your very own, regardless of having that knowledge in that tech field, say developing like code or JavaScript or you name it. It feels as if whatever chain you may be on, there's always going to be somebody who's willing to help you or willing to partner with you to grow something and come to a unique collective vision towards a goal. I'd love to go into now because where Big Tiny Brand caught my initial interest was that sold out collection on Kabila. What makes the Seed World collection unique compared to your guys' previous work on other chains? I know you guys have mentioned Ethereum and Solana already, and I'd love to know what made that pivot to Hedera besides it being one of the most secure networks.
Scott, do you mind if I take that question?
No, I know you love to talk about this stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
Please
because
do
you mentioned something that is directly going into what I said a couple of minutes ago. People are not noticing us. This is already our second successfully minted out collection. The first one being our inaugural collection called the Sigma Keys, who was by the up to date the most expensive H bar to dollar wise mint outs that the aerospace has ever witnessed on Kabi Labs.
How much was that?
And pardon me,
How much was it
it
total?
was a fixed rate at $987 per Sigma key. 987 because that's a Fibonacci number, and we love Fibonacci numbers at Big Tiny Brand. And yeah, that's a very small collection. It's only got 89 pieces. And it's basically, we initiated this one on Hedera Hashgraph as our first, in, let's say, like an investors or early supporters NFT collection. We opted to put a small amount onto public mint, and the rest of them we are hand selecting to our partners who are willing to collaborate with us, because we don't want to give it just to anybody or any degen. Of course, we want to make sure that this close knit network of the, let's say, the investor circle of the Big Tiny Brands, those are people that we want to work with and projects that we want to support going into the long run. So if there's any project founder out there who can envision a future beyond 2020-25, then yeah, you can reach out to us. We still have a few of them in stock, but they are highly sought after. And yeah, the Seed World collection, that's where we tried to make things fun and give something back to the community. So when we first started our Discord Big Tiny Brand server, a couple of months in, and when the first members who turned out to be like the OGs of the Big Tinies, we were doing some awareness session, and actually with Scott was like saying, how safe or secure can a hardware ledger be? And this sparked like a huge discussion, which is quite a controversy in the space, that maybe a hardware device might not be the safest of all options. It's at the end of the day, it's always the user operating it in 99 out of 100 cases. And so why I'm bringing this up, because of the seed words. Each seed phrase consists out of 12 or respectively 24 seed words. So we ask our OG community members, just give us your fictional favorite seed word. And that's how the 24 words all came together. And yeah, then we put our art team on it. And yeah, a couple of months later, we had 24 unique pieces. And because I also have a huge background in collecting trading cards myself, I was traveling the world in my late teens and early 20s before I became dad, playing Magic the Gathering on a worldwide scale, let's say it this way. So I still have my collection here. So that's why we made the seed words into a gamified collectible card game. And yeah, we actually were planning the minting phase, which started on the 1st of December, with a collection size big enough that we felt comfortable minting out over the course of, let's say, till end of the month, because that's when our big giveaway will be. And little did we know that we have to make something right, because it minted out in a couple of hours. And
Yeah.
it was a huge blast. We were all getting together. We made a live stream and we minted and partied together, and it was a really lovely experience. And that's all I can say. And yeah, shortly after, the fun didn't stop. People are collecting and trading, and we put zero royalties on the collection for a reason, because this mint was at very first place intended to give something back to the community. So all the mint funds, they're going to our art teams and for the giveaways, and that's how we did it. Yeah. So I hope this answers your question.
Yeah. Somewhat. I'd love to know what's the value proposition behind the seed word collection.
Oh yeah. So, as we have an agenda for the next couple of years, and one of the agenda points will be that we're going to take our Discord server and make it and to give it gated content, basically. So, we always have the front door open for people in need, who we're not going to deny anybody who doesn't hold an NFT that we're going to help them, so they can always open the ticket. But the inner circle of people where we give more value, like security awareness sessions, great alpha tips, a discount for our services, and more utility down the road. That's where we needed a collection bigger than 89 Sigma keys. And that's going to be the main benefit going forward into next year. But until then, since it's a gamified collection, we wanted to give the incentive to collect all 24 unique words. So for those who are able to collect all 24 unique words, they will enter a huge year-end giveaway. The snapshot will be for this giveaway will be sometime after Christmas and before New Year, and then all the wallets will be entitled for a raffle ticket basically. And if they happen to win, then they're gonna win 7,777 H bar, which is at the time of this recent pump quite a nice New Year's gift.
Yeah.
And not only that, the people who manage to collect all 24 unique words will be airdropped a very unique seed phrase NFT. There's only so many in the collection, and those ones they will hold special value going forwards, pre-sale and whitelist access to our upcoming PFP collection. And that's going to be very exciting. Maybe Scott, you want to say one or two more words about that?
Yeah, yeah. So there's some great incentives, like Fabian was saying, the gated content. So if you basically have any of these NFTs at the end of the day, so after everything is said and done, if people decide to go to secondary and sell off, but keep one, they've got a great incentive for that. Our rare NFTs will definitely give you access to whitelist for our upcoming collection, which will probably be minted in quarter 1 of next year. And the raffle, the giveaway, again, this is for the community. We're not keeping any of the funds. We wanted to have a fun game. And considering the response, we will be considering adding another pack to this set. And if we do, again, it will be royalty free. We do not look to make money off of these NFTs. This is all community based. So we want people to have a lot of fun. We're also offering that if you have any 24 of these NFTs, if you attempted to collect them all, but you didn't get all 24, we're going to be doing a raffle for the Joker, which is one of two. And the Joker, which is a really cool picture of a Joker based on a picture I sent Fabian that I made on a Snapchat filter of myself, which was funny. But yeah, they made it. We made a Joker card, and if you have any 24 NFTs, our end of year raffle, or actually the raffle for this will be for 777 uh, H bar, and that will happen on Christmas Eve. So sometime on the 24th, we'll be raffling off to everyone who has at least 24 of these NFTs. We'll definitely have that. But going back to the seed phrase NFT, because these are all seed words, the seed phrase NFT will act the same as any of the NFTs, meaning we'll be dropping everyone who has a full set of the seed phrase NFT, and it will hold all the utility that any of them will hold. So again, we're just trying to give back to the community. And another thing that we did, and the community, the OGs know, is that everyone who gave us one of these 24 words is getting the one of one original art that was used on the trading card, but it's just the art, not on a card. So they get
Nice.
the full artwork. Again, it's to give back. We wanted to engage the community. Like Fabian said, security can be extremely boring, and we wanted to spice it up and make it fun. The response was phenomenal. People are enjoying it. We enjoyed it. I sat up and I minted a bunch of them, and I wound up now with I have a full set. I have all 24 words.
Nice.
But because the team, we're not eligible. We can't win. There's no way we're going to allow someone on the team to win. That's just not cool. So
Sense.
we don't behave that way. So I'm actually considering before the snapshot to just offer for a very fair price the whole set to somebody and see if somebody's interested. I won't really be looking to make any money on it. I just want to have more people. There aren't very many people eligible for this raffle. So it's quite the opportunity to win this 7,777 H bar
Yep.
up for grabs. I think there's six, maybe seven people
It's
with
seven. Yeah, we
seven
had.
seven eligible people right now. The chances are super high for them to win. I don't see any reason why. We just had a community member come in and get 21 of them in the same day, and now they're looking for the last three that they need to be eligible. So we'll have 8 people. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we're still going to let some benefits be in there. I think that the biggest benefit at the end of the day for the DGens, aside from being able to win a whole bunch of money, is the fact that our next collection is going to be on Solana, and the entry price for the next collection, which will be the basis of our gated server, the entry price is going to be very high. So anyone who's holding one of these NFTs at such a low price is going to have access to a much higher value entry to the server. And I like to think that once there's an associated value to the gated content of our server, that the value of this trading card game is going to increase a lot. So anyone holding these cards might be sitting on a decent gain, which, I mean, come on, that's really why a lot of people are here.
Yeah, definitely. And security kind of reminds me of accounting at the end of the day. It might be boring, but it definitely is required. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like the idea of token gating all the NFTs, regardless of the chain, funneling it back into the Discord community, and then helping people understand, discussing security, compliance, and other related topics that can really either help them learn something new or forward push their already established project who might need some help with clarity and just security regulations for wherever they're living. I think all of those pretty required in this space if you want to be a long-term established viable product, viable company in this space developing something that is real and that will last 5, 10, 20, 100 plus years from now. Because a lot of these projects who come in here, they release the art. We see on, like we were talking before the show, Solana is going through this big token pump. All these tokens releasing on Solana, DeFi is going nuts. But how many of these tokens are actually viable products? I feel as if majority of them are just exit liquidity for the people who own majority of the supply. But at the end of the day, we can only assume what we want to assume, and I'll leave it at that. But what are some of these common problems Web3 startups face with security? And how does your company tackle these issues?
Number one, treasury management. And you need to cut that one out. Still have fighting a small little cold here.
It
So
happens.
treasury management, that's one of the things that I would invite any community member from any other community to openly ask these questions if you're not aware of the answer. How is your project managing the funds? And how many projects did we support getting derugged again, whose root cause it was that the keys of the treasury were widely spread, there was no multi-sig, and so many projects have been taken down by these easy to avoid mistakes.
Very
So
true.
that's one of the things that we do when we audit or when we are invited to audit a community. Those are like the basic cyber hygiene best practices. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. We are there to enable you to identify what is the basement, the foundation on how to build on. And then right after that is Discord. Discord is, and there's an old saying in information security, as usable as something is on the one side, as unsecured is on the other side. And we have to, especially if Discord, we need to find the golden middle way. There are a lot of bots that are very helpful without shackling the ability to have fun inside the Discord, but truly increasing the barrier for bad actors to come inside your community and do any sorts of shenanigans. Those who've been not living under a rock, the latest attack with typo scripted links inside of Discord, that's catch a lot of people off guard. And so those are the other things. And of course, then you have the whole other sector, which at the moment people are still not paying quite enough attention, is the whole compliance framework. So is your community only a community, or are you planning to be a registered company? Where do you want to register your company? Which legislations do you need to follow? Do you want to be inside US? Do you want to be inside Europe? Do you want to go extra spicy and go to Dubai, into the Emirates? There are a lot of possibilities. All have their merits and, of course, some flaws. We can guide you in making the best educated decision for your company and community. And then, certainly, last but not least, how is your website looking? We are still in the early stages. We have not reached mass adoption. The people who are already in the know inside all the communities, they might not go as often onto a website. But most certainly, people from Web 2 who are onboarding into the crypto space, one of the first things they look at, what is your website?
Yep.
And so do the bad actors. So, do you have any connection possibilities? Have you got a wallet connect on your website? Is your website vulnerable to cross site scripting and other shenanigan attacks? So, we can scan your website and again implement and help you implement basic cyber hygiene, and the security headers would be one low hanging fruit to optimize that. And then, yeah, if you go really spicy and you are a community that is actually building and developing dApps on whatever blockchain or DLT for that sake, we can make sure that your GitHub repository is safe, your smart contract is safe, and yeah, point you out the mistakes. Because one thing I know with a very high degree of certainty, 9 out of 10 developers, and I'm a developer myself, so please don't crucify me when I speak this out loud. Most developers know how to make something really cool and work really smooth, but not always have in the back of their heads the basic security triggers that you need to keep in mind not to get screwed over at the end of the day. I think that sums it up quite nicely.
Yeah, it
And I'd
definitely
like to
did.
add, yeah,
You
I'd
got
like to
something to say?
add two things, if I may. The first thing I'd like to add, just to expand actually on a little bit of what he said, is to help protect some of these projects, whether they just started or they're actually moving forward, is looking for any kind of weird backdoor entrances that developers, third party developers create. And if you follow projects, you know a lot of them were rugged, not by the team, but by a developer who
Yep.
drained their wallets later after they filled them. So that's one aspect where we can help a project protect them by doing a full scale audit. Now, unfortunately, a lot of projects take the risk because of the costs of audits, but they're definitely worth it for anybody who's planning on longevity. The second thing is to, like Fabian was talking about, projects that have been derugged. Let's go one step before that, projects that rug. One of the services we offer is a full KYC, and we give you a big tiny brand stamp to show that you've been KYC'd by us. But our KYC is not just, hey, show me your ID. We do a very extensive background on people. So basically, we know exactly who they are, what they've done, how new their accounts are, how new their socials are, how much they're updating their GitHub, how much they're doing, everything in the background that Fabian's able to see. Again, my background in security is minimal, but his is not. His is extensive. So we offer that added touch of trust in that if we actually give any project our stamp of approval, that means that we would put our money there. We're not just asking them to pay us for a service, but we're there to protect the community. We put the community first. So those are two more things that we offer in the space to help protect the typical project from them being taken advantage of by the public and vice versa, the public being taken advantage of by a project. So we work from both angles because we want to protect everybody,
Nice.
you
That's
know.
great perspective to have, definitely. What would a typical security audit cost on average, would you say? Obviously it's variable depending on what you're looking for, but what's an average price for something like that?
Are you talking about like a smart contract audit or a business procedure audit for compliance?
Let's just do smart contract audit. Let's just see what a good price would be for that.
Well, we
So
did smart contract audits depending on the size, starting
Gotcha.
from $500 to $10,000. So it's really a wide variety. If
Yeah.
yeah,
it can be
Very
more
variable.
too. It depends. There are instances where it's more complex, but our pricing is based on us being a smaller, more personable company versus some of the big names that many of us have heard of that would charge anywhere from 30 to 50,000 for the same thing. But our processes and our redundancies are very similar to how they do it, and we make sure many eyes are checking, double checking, triple checking, and then checking each other's work, which essentially is what's necessary to be sure that you're catching everything.
Definitely.
basically what I would like to add to this, because we truly see ourselves as enablers, and we know that especially when you're a startup, you don't you can't really afford to spend thousands and thousands of dollars just to make your great idea 100% secure. It's you need to get that money from somewhere. One of the things that we are taking a slightly different approach is, if we are convinced that your project is onto a really good idea, and the only thing that you need is us having a checkup of your smart contract to make sure that you don't get drained or your community doesn't, then the last thing that we would ask for is a lump sum upfront payment. Uh, you can always talk to us, whether you contribute to our treasury with your NFTs that you're planning to deploy or something down the road. We're all going to make our money 2025 and beyond. But we are also a startup. So we really see ourselves as enablers and not as showstoppers. And I think that's really a message I want to deliver, that don't see security as a monetary burden or hurdle. Just talk to us.
Yeah. That's a
And
great
that
way of
includes,
thinking.
yeah, that includes retail. One of the things we offer is a lot of safe practice information. Safe practices are literally the backbone of protecting your assets. There is no, we see, like Fabian was touching on before, hardware wallets to me, and I argue this all the time, and some people hate to hear it. Please don't crucify me after you hear this, but hardware wallets are not more safe. There's no such thing as a more safe wallet, because the same phishing scams and the same cross script websites that put you on a malicious website, these are the same things you're going to click and approve the transaction for, whether it's a hardware wallet or it's a hot wallet. Okay, safe practices will protect you from all of these instances. There are still times where leaving a permission on a wallet, like NFT Trader on Ethereum recently, if you have an open permission and it's on a smart contract and you haven't revoked it, you might be susceptible and exposed. But again, that one also comes under the safe practices. If you follow safe practices, and we have lots of them, if anyone wants to hear them, they're boring, but they're very good. I've been scammed so many times on Solana, and because of my safe practices, they never got anything other than a tiny amount of coins out of me. Just the little zero point 0.1 Solana that the mint was all that was in my wallet at the time. But in the server that the link was posted, the malicious link, I see people in there talking about how they just lost everything in their wallet. And my safe practices and Fabian's safe practices that we've created would have protected all these people with a simple little extra step in their process would have protected their wallet. So don't lose your stuff. Come see us. We'll tell you how to save yourself a lot of problems and a lot of headache.
Nice. I think a cool video that we could definitely do down the road would be a safe practices video for the whole entire ecosystem. Just running through all the quality safety practices that most should abide by. And regarding safety practices, I actually a couple months back just got an invite from somebody on Discord. Didn't know really what to think of it. Saw it was a community for networking and looking for jobs and stuff of that nature. I joined the community. It asked me to go through a capture verification. Standard, typical. I thought it looked the same exact as what a capture verification typically looks like. Next thing I click on the link, they basically were able to get all of my Discord information. They logged into my account and basically started impersonating me, shilling all these deep fake links and all of this that could probably extract and compromise other people's accounts. And the moment I found out about all that, I was quite honestly shocked and learned from my mistakes moving forward from that. But it literally looked so identical to what a captcha verification should look like. And for me, honestly, to be perceived by that, I was just blown away that it even happened in the
Oh,
first
yeah.
place.
They're clever, these scammers. So the
Yeah,
safe
they
practice
are.
that I would have recommended for you is a very important one that nobody exercises. When you get a link, don't use it. Go to the source on your own. Don't ever click the link. If somebody sends you a link to whatever XYZ website, go to Google and find that website on your own. Go direct to the source on your
Smart.
own. Do not click. There are websites also to check those links, but those websites are not 100%. They're like 99%. So, still, I always say the safe practice is go to the source. That's the best thing to do. That would be my
Awesome.
recommendation on that example, for example, just to give you a little.
Appreciate that, Scott, a lot. Closing things off, I'd love to just be a little more forward thinking. What does the future look like ahead for Big Tiny Brands?
Oh,
Oh,
that's a very
that's
good question.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to field it or you want me to give some info?
Let me start with our roadmap goes to 2035 and we're filling it.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. I love projects who have long, thought out roadmaps, regardless of if the ETAs are perfectly aligned. I just think it's amazing to see long term visions in this ecosystem rather than 6 month roadmap and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beauty of what we do as far as longevity, as far as profitability, is our services. Once you need us, it's annual. Regulatory regulations, compliance rules, they change. So
Yeah.
every year we have to come in, usually towards the end of the year, and we got to come in and we got to double check what the new rules are going to be and refine your processes with you to meet the new upcoming regulations for next year. And you have to do this annually, especially the bigger the project, the more money you have, the more you need to protect yourself, because that's what it comes down to. How much do you need to protect? The more you need to
Yeah.
protect, the more you need to have us do. And we'll only do the minimum needed for you based on your needs. But the short term, obviously, long term, we have a great vision. In the short term, we have some really great stuff happening. Like I said, Solana Mint quarter one next year. We plan for it to be a rather large collection, and we have a very special art team working on it right now. This is the same art team that has worked on several blue chip projects. I don't know if we're allowed to say they're a little bit of a private art team. They don't like to be exposed, but this is the same art team that's worked on several amazing projects that everybody knows. And they're working on our collection for us as we speak. We're in the works of delivering art and traits, and we have some very big, large, influential communities and some of the more influential people in the Solana space right now very interested. It's a very exclusive entry. Our pre-sale is going to be extremely exclusive. We're only going to offer our pre-sale to very large and successful and influential people in the Solana space. And from there, whitelist and mint will follow. We expect our next collection to be a big hit in the Solana space because of it. And we expect there to be a ton of interest leading forward. As soon as we have information that we can divulge, we'll definitely be coming over to Alt Kings, and we'll definitely be giving you guys a little bit of the early alpha to give your community for
Thanks,
any
Scott.
of the egens that are on Solana in there. But this next collection will be not boring. It will be not security based. This next collection is going to be one for the people. This is going to be one of those types of PFP collections that people love to look for. So that's the next step for Big Tiny. It's going to be under a whole new banner. It's going to be powered by Big Tiny, but Big Tiny will not be the forward facing of this project. I don't even know if we're allowed to say what it's called yet.
I think that's worthy for another podcast. Yeah.
But
I'll take
but
it.
yeah, we have a very big plan, and we have some of the biggest people in the space working with us, and we're trying to reach some of the other bigger people as well. But you know how Solana is. You've got it's a very tight knit community over there, and we expect to see amazing things happen with this collection.
I look forward to
Yeah.
it.
What I would like to add to this is just to reassure our Age Barbarian family. The vast majority of the Sigma key holders are actually Ethereum and Solana investors.
Nice.
So that's how it's split it. And that's also one of our missions and visions, as we are by any means abandoning Adera. It's quite the contrary. We are trying to, and I think this is really much needed for the whole eco, is that we need to open our minds and to look how we can build bridges. How we can build bridges, because we all know that the degens, they are falling always in love with their project, they're falling in love with their coin, and they're diamond handed for all eternity hodlers. And it's ever so challenging to give them an incentive to move over to other chains and have a sniff around the corner to see what's outside in the world. And that's why I see us again as enablers, because we have our roots in Hedera, and just onboarding the people once we mince out our PFP collection. It will, on the one side, bring Age Barbarians into Solana because they would love to have this connection with what we're planning. I can tell you that. And on the other side, once people get to know that behind this amazing PFP project is this really boring security company, they will delve into what we're actually doing on our core. And then they will, maybe for the first time ever, get to know about Hedera. And that's once they're inside our Discord, where Age Barbarians and Solana Maxis all together meet, they will exchange. And then slowly but steady, they will get to know also the merits of a very secure DLT in Hedera Hashgraph and get exposure to it. And I think that's our altogether mission anyway, to go and grow together in Web3, as this is more and more becoming our family. That's just how the world is evolving to. Yeah.
Cross chain onboarding. Gotta love it. I definitely think it's key in this space, regardless of the chain that you found first. I think any sort of onboarding to a quality chain, especially a DLT like Hedera Hashgraph, I think it's you can't beat. Nothing's better than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts? It's been a pleasure.
Oh man,
Like,
we're just loving this bull market vibe that's going on right now. Hedera's mooning. We love seeing it. 10 cents is next,
Got it.
is the way we see it. Many of our coins are up right now. It's onward and upward right now. I would say zoom out in a few months and keep an eye for any kind of big drop events during a bull run. We'll see anywhere for up to 5 events that could drop anywhere up to 80%. So definitely be ready for that stuff. Again, we're here not just to protect businesses, but also the retailer. We want to help you protect your assets. So definitely enjoy this bull run. It's definitely the time to get involved. A lot of people are coming into the space and many of them are scammers. So be safe and just enjoy it. If you love crypto and NFTs as much as we do, then definitely come and share with us. Come and talk to us.
Amazing. Fabian, Scott, it's been a true pleasure being the host you guys today to talk all about Big Tiny Brands. All your guys' links will be down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed listening into this podcast, and we will see you all next episode. Peace.
Stay safe.
Welcome to Gilmore Estates, where we pave your way to real estate success. Our state-of-the-art platform is tailored to empower people from diverse backgrounds, helping them thrive in the world of real estate investment. Through the magic of Hedera NFTs, educational resources, and regular evaluations, you'll not only learn but also earn valuable HTS token, G-Coin rewards along the way. Our innovative tokenomics model closely replicates real estate cash flow dynamics, meaning the more G-Coin you possess, the larger your monthly cash flow. And the cherry on top, our Launchpad grants you the opportunity to own fractions of assets from well-established real estate holding companies. Unleash your potential and start your journey to financial success with Gilmore Estates today.